works at.
What's up, fuckers? Welcome back to another welcome back to another episode of Whiplash Incorporated. It's me, Brandon. I'm back again 3 seconds later from the last video because I'm recording these in a row. I had a good idea during the last video. This video is going to be about Slayer. I haven't done a video on Slayer yet, and I kind of have a Slayer story. Yeah, still smoking the same cigar as last one. This is literally about a minute after I got done recording the last video. But yeah, I figured I would make a video about Slayer. Because, I mean, really thinking about it, Slayer has been in my life for a while. In passing and then finally getting into them. Religion plays a big part in me getting into them later on in my life, as of more recent, like it's within the last 10 years, or like 7 or 8 years. But yeah, I'll start off just hearing Slayer in passing after I started my journey, my metal journey, when I first discovered Metallica, and then as you do, you discover more bands. And I believe the first time I heard Slayer was in a video game called, I think it was Skate 3. Was it Skate 3? Skate 3. It was either Skate 2 or Skate 3. I remember the intro to one of the skate games. The dude was doing like fucking surgery on the skateboarder, and it was raining blood. And me being a Metallica fanatic and not knowing, don't fucking lynch me for this because I fucking know better now. I was in middle school when I first discovered Slayer. I thought it was fucking Ride the Lightning. Because Ride the Lightning, and Raining Blood is so it kind of has the same chord progression, I guess, if you want to call it that. And I remember being at my friend's house and me playing the game because I guess he restarted it so we could play together. And that cutscene came on. I'm like, oh my god, this is this song. And I went and showed him fucking Ride the Lightning, not realizing it was Slayer. And then I guess finding out who Slayer was, and then figuring out, oh, that song's Slayer. And I remember being in the car with my dad and my cousin. We were listening to something. I don't know what we were listening to. Probably my dad. My dad was listening to Hatebreed at the time. He might have been listening to Hatebreed. I was in middle school, so it was right when we started listening to Hatebreed and stuff like that. It was when I started to branch out into a little more extreme stuff. And I remember being in the car and saying to my cousin, I'm like, oh yeah, I like this band called Slayer. I like the one song. And my dad, this is before my dad used to be really religious. Like, I was born Roman Catholic, and he was really religious. And then as he got older, he kind of, I don't know, lost faith, and I have too, but I replaced it with something else. But back in the day when I told him like Slayer, he's like, oh, fuck, don't listen to Slayer. They're fucking they're fucking devil worshippers, and they do rituals on stage. And I'm like, oh really? And at the time, whatever my dad said goes. I didn't listen to Slipknot because he said, oh, they're nothing but fucking wine, and like, oh, okay. And then he always would do that. He always would tell me a fucking band sucked. And then fucking years later, like, oh, you know what, that'd be pretty cool. Duh. But after that, I didn't really pay Slayer any mind. I knew of them. I, again, heard more songs in passing. And I just stuck with, throughout high school, I stuck with, Metallica, Iron Maiden, Five Death Punch, Avenged Sevenfold. That's really what I was listening to throughout high school. And then after I graduated, I think it was summer of 2015? Yeah. Or it's summer, I think it was, maybe, no, I think it was the summer of 2016. Yeah, summer of 2016, me and my friend went down to the shore with my parents, and the shore meaning Wildwood. I'm from Philadelphia. So we went down to Wildwood, and on the Wildwood boardwalk, I think there's only one store left. I'm not sure. We were just down there. I couldn't find the store. One store is called Fame, and they sell a lot of band merch. And we were looking around, and I think it was a South of Heaven. Yeah, it was a South of Heaven sweatshirt, and he loved the way it looked. I had never heard Slayer before, and he would listen to like Bullet for My Valentine. He liked Breaking Benjamin, but he more listened to like dubstep and some of like the anime shit and stuff. And I was trying to get him into metal. I was showing him Slipknot, and he wasn't getting into Slipknot. And then he started listening to Slayer because of the sweatshirt. And he's like, do you know anything about them? I'm like, from what I've heard, their stuff sounds awesome. It's just at that time I was still religious. And he's like, and I said to him, I don't listen to them because they're everything's satanic. So I was like, oh, okay. And being fucking, teenagers, I was like 18, 19. He fucking went and pirated all their fucking albums and started listening to all their albums. And he got into them. And I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't expect you to go do that. So, while we were down there, I'd let him use the fucking aux cord in my Jeep. I had a Jeep at that time. I had Bluetooth. And we started listening to Slayer. I could listen to it, and be fine, but I was uncomfortable listening to it. But it was kind of like that guilty pleasure. Like I shouldn't listen to it because it goes against my religion, but it's really fucking good. Especially Rain in Blood, South of Heaven, Angel of Death, even though that wasn't satanic, it was about a fucking Nazi. But it was just me being naive to it and not knowing. And then I had my, I don't want to call it a spiritual epiphany. It was more like my dad lost his faith, and he was explaining to me, and that kind of hit me hard. But then when he actually explained to me why, I really thought about it. I mean, I'll say this: whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in, that's awesome for you. Believe in whatever you want. No one knows, no one can be right until you die and you actually find out for sure. But especially me, I think I made a video about it. As I was thinking about it, I never really felt connected to Christianity. Even when I was a kid, being in church, I didn't want to be there. I wasn't getting anything out of it. I had fantasies of fucking Angus Young rising out of the fucking altar with fire and shit, playing fucking Hell's Bells. See, But because of my parents, and it drilled into my head that that's bad Christianity. So I started to dwindle with that. And then I started watching the show Vikings. Like, oh, this is cool. And then finding out about Norse paganism. And then me wearing a fucking cross and a Milner for a year. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to fucking wear the Milner, I might as well just fucking wear it and own it. I don't need the cross. The cross has never done anything for me. I've prayed to God here and there, especially through the hard times. I'm not going to get into it. And nothing, and still to this day, nothing has been resolved. But when I started practicing Norse paganism, and I dropped the whole fucking Christianity thing, I started listening to more of the bands that I wanted to listen to, and Slayer was definitely one of them. Slayer. I finally delved into black metal and fucking watched the movie Lords of Chaos, and that really put it over the edge for me too. Like, I know Lords of Chaos, the movie, is not true to the events that actually happened, but seeing it for the first time and seeing what happened with the band Mayhem, I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome. But it was still like the forbidden fruit, because I didn't know that they were just fucking kids, and it was all fucking fake. They really weren't fucking Satanists or whatever. They were just fucking doing it to fucking the same reason why Slayer did it, to fucking the Satanist shit. But they took it to another level, We're in churches because, fuck the man, fuck the man, fuck the establishment. They were kids that took it to the extreme. The dropping, I think Christianity is very, in a sense, oppressive towards its believers because it limits you. I don't want to be limited. You can't eat meat on these certain days. You can't do this. You can't get tattoos. You can't have sex before marriage. Don't tell me I can't. Because if you tell me I can't, I'm going to go do it. It's human nature. I don't want to be controlled. I don't want to be told what to do. That is literally just the sense of why I left the Christian faith. And I am very happy with who I became after that. Especially with the music I listened to. Because I started listening to death metal. I started listening to a lot of other stuff. And Slayer being the band that I would say started that thirst for more of the stuff that was taboo to me at the time. Because now I love Slayer. I listen to them almost on a daily basis. Been doing my research and learning who they are. I remember seeing them on like VH1 Classic, like an interview of Kerry King. We're seeing them on fucking with all the. I think it was at like 11 o'clock at night. They started doing Metal Mania on VH1 Classic. All the fucking music videos and shit. And that's kind of where I saw Slayer too. Yeah, ow, fucking jaw. Sorry. Uncut and unedited. You're getting all of it. Me with my quirks and my neck cracking and my jaw cracking, get it all. I owe it to Slayer. That Slayer got me out of that rut. The rut of control. They got me to being more who I want to be and not what other people wanted me to be. Because my mother still to this day has a problem with me and my father, more or less me, not being Catholic. I grew up in a Roman Catholic Italian household. more or less. We didn't go to church every Sunday. We weren't like that, but we all prayed. We said grace at dinners and shit. Went to church on Christmas. The first 4 years of my schooling, I went to fucking Catholic school. Hated it. Hated wearing fucking uniforms. And I think that's why I don't like the establishment or fucking authority because of that. I feel like the shit that happens to you as a kid dictates how you are when you're an adult. I really think that. And I want to get a tattoo because on my left arm is all the bands that had an impact in my life. And they've recently realizing the impact Slayer had, I want to get a Slayer tattoo. Because music has been the one constant in my life that has gotten me through everything. I remember sitting in my room as a kid. I'll go into it briefly. My mother had alcohol and pill addiction until as of recent. And music has always gotten me through. I remember being a kid, and right after discovering Hatebreed, I remember sitting up in my room after something happened with her and my dad. And I remember the song "Everlasting Scar" really resonated with me as a kid, and it's still my favorite Hatebreed song to this day because it has that connection to it. Where I'm going with that. The moral of the story is do what you want to do. We are all going to die one day. We are all on death row. We don't know when our time is going to be. We don't know what is out there. We can hope, we can pray, we can speculate, but we don't know. There is an afterlife. I could go into that in another video. My spiritual escapades with the afterlife. We can go into that in another video, but we don't know. So don't live your life in fear of something you don't know. But I will say this, just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there. But it's up to you as an individual to live your life and not experience things because a book tells you to, or because a man on a fucking altar in a robe tells you to. Religion is a good guideline. Religion is good to have something of faith in, something that's good. But don't let it control you to the point where it tells you to not do things that you want to do. And within reason, don't go out and fucking do fucking hardcore drugs. Don't go out and murder people because you want to. If that's the case, go get fucking help. But within reason. If you're Catholic and if someone's watching me right now and you're in the same boat that I was, where you like the music, you want to listen to it, but you feel like you can't because your religion tells you can't. It's not true. Okay? Your God or whatever is nothing's going to happen. Okay? If they're singing about Satan or hell, nothing's going to happen. We're all going to go to the same place when we die. You don't know when your time is, so do what you want. Don't limit yourself. Do what you want. Listen to what you want. Be it satanic or whatever. And if you still want to, believe in your religion, do it. But know in your heart that you still believe in what you believe in, and that whatever you're listening to that is taboo or goes against what you believe in, it doesn't matter if you listen to it, as long as you don't practice it. You know? But I took the approach of as it showed me that I didn't belong. And the only way that you're going to figure that out is if you do that. Take that chance. Listen to that band that your parents told you not to listen to. Take that chance. Go talk to that girl that you want to talk to, that you're scared to. What's going to happen? She's either going to say yes or she's going to say no. Do it. Because I spent my entire fucking high school, teenagehood being scared and not talking to people. As an adult now, I wish I did more as a fucking teenager. I wish there was more music I would have listened to as a teenager. I wish I didn't have a girlfriend until I was 22. I'm still with her till this day. I'm 26. She's the only person I've ever been with. Because I was scared. Start to crack. Do it. Go do it. Don't let stupid shit limit you. And not think that this video was going to be an inspirational video, but through my experience, find your slayer. Find your slayer. Because once you find your slayer, a whole new world will open up to you. Limitless things that you can do, that you can practice, that you're not limited to one thing. I found Norse paganism, metal in its essence is rebellion. I feel that if you like metal, you listen to metal, even punk rock, you have that rebellious fire in you to go against. And it might take your slayer to get you to that point of saying, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do what I want. I never smoke cigars. I know it can give me mouth cancer. But I could die 3 seconds from now if a fucking tractor trailer comes and fucking rear ends me. Or I could die from these. We're all going to die. And we're not going to know it. So once you're dead, it can either be just fucking lights out and you won't know it. Or you go to another plane of existence, which I believe that there is.